Well, a very good afternoon, everyone, and happy Tuesday. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us today. Today's webinar is being hosted by Travel Planners International. As always, we really appreciate the support we get from TPI. Travel Planners International is a sales, marketing, and support agency for new and experienced travel professionals. Savvy, entrepreneurial-minded agents and agency owners partner with TPI for their forward-thinking, profit-generating marketing programs, savvy social media support, small business training events and agent community building meetings, and time savings back office technologies. Truth be told, they describe themselves as a group of fun-loving, good-looking peeps in Maitland, Florida, who spend their days and nights dreaming and scheming of ways they can make their family of passionate, sleep-deprived rock star agents so happy and profitable that they go to bed at night, usually pretty darn late, yelling, "Nailed it!" Our speaker today for TPI is one of my favorites, the wonderful Jenn Lee, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Celebrating just 2 short years in the travel industry, Jenn Lee isn't shy about her obsession for guiding and leading today's entrepreneurial-minded travel advisor community. According to Lee, the travel industry is on the upswing, and this is the moment to remind the world that travel advisors aren't just booking travel, but boosting their bank account. They're building a business. Back in her business consulting days, she and her clients landed spots on Fox Business, Good Morning America, and Shark Tank, as well as numerous national publications like Success Magazine and Entrepreneur. However, what keeps Lee going isn't gaining accolades or being featured on TV. It's about meeting with passionate, hustling, and driven entrepreneurs in the making who just plain get it. That and her bulletproof coffee, of course. Jen's topic today is 3 honest truths that the travel industry hasn't adopted yet. Before we get started, a reminder that you are all muted, but we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. At the end of the webinar, we'll get to as many questions as we can. Also at the end of the webinar, Jenn has 2 amazing prizes for 2 lucky prize winners who have been paying attention for the whole webinar. I'll tell you more about the prizes later. So let's get started. Welcome, Jenn.
Hey, Sandy, thank you. You know what I just realized? We said 2 short years, and I just celebrated my 3rd year at the.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Oh my goodness, time flies when you're having a good time, and part of a killer industry like this. So it makes me smile. Thank you, everyone, for being patient as she goes through that whole bio. But it's all important and it's all true. At TPI, we're kind of obsessed with you crazy cats, and we are exhausted, just like you guys are. And I have such passion and compassion, and just thrilled to be a champion of the industry. I entered the industry of just 3 years ago. I can't believe it. 3 years ago, and one of the things that I found right from the get-go was that everybody who enters this industry enters it really for the right reason. There's a handful that think that it's about getting free trips, and you know what? They're few and far between. The majority of y'all out there are just hustling, just making it happen. So passionate about curating amazing adventures for your clients and building and boosting your bank account and business. So I'm always happy to be here. So that's just my hello to everybody. I just can't say hi shortly, apparently. So anyways, hi, everybody. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about something that I've actually been talking about for a couple of months, and it gets me really excited because I recognize that this topic actually helps people build their business, but not necessarily because it's about a strategy of some sort. This whole idea that there are truths out there that you haven't really adopted, and it's not just in the travel industry. I saw this in every single industry where I worked and where I coached and consulted with my clients. There is the difference between having a mindset and a maneuver. And that's really what I want to talk about today. Maneuvers are all those sales strategies and things that, tips and tricks and ways to close the deal and overcoming objections and what's the right way to promote yourself on Facebook and how do you get free media coverage. Those are all maneuvers, and they're all great, and I talk about them all the time. If you go back and listen to any of the webinars that we've done together with Travel Professional News, it's always been about really strong, very specific maneuvers. And I'm sure there's tons of webinars out there on this page that has those in them. But today I wanted to take a different approach. I really wanted to talk about really what sets everybody apart and what stops people from being successful, and that's their mindset. And I want you to kind of play along with me. It might feel a little I don't know, touchy-feely at first, and I'll hug you if I see you, and Sandy knows that. I'll hug and kiss anybody that I run into. But the touchy-feely I'm talking about is really kind of getting to the core. There is really a big difference in how effective your maneuvers are based on your mindset, and that's where I'm seeing a big opportunity right now in our industry. So, you know, how does a mindset really play a role? I've kind of narrowed it down to this one sentence. Many times when our agents talk to us about why a consumer is not buying from them, or why they're not as successful as they want to be, or why weren't they loyal, or on and on, I always tell them it's really not about the consumer buying what you're selling. The next thing you really need to look at is it's about you buying what you're selling. And it goes beyond just being confident in what you're selling. It goes beyond in having knowledge. It's really a mindset, a shift that you have to change within yourself, and kind of approach every single day with that type of mindset. Because with that mindset, those maneuvers become a lot easier. Those objections are a little more natural to overcome. And when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about this poem / quote that I've had on my desk for probably 15 years. And it's every time I read it, I always say to myself, gosh darn it, I wish I had had this when I was a child, or I wish I had had this quote actually when my son was growing up. My son's 31 years old, and I would have read it to him every single day. So if you bear with me, it's a little bit of a long quote, and many of you may have already read this quote before. It's been featured in a few movies, but I want to read it to you, and then I'm going to break it down, and we're really going to get down to the core of this and how this plays a role in your daily life, things that you do every single day. It's by Marianne Williamson, and it's called Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's absolutely nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Isn't that beautiful? It's the most powerful quote I've ever read. And it's powerful because it really breaks things down into really the things that we think about inside of ourselves every single day. And I often wonder if I had said this quote, if I had read this quote to my son every day, how much more impactful his life would be, how much more bolder he would be in his life. When I'm feeling down, or when I'm feeling like, gosh, it's so stressful, you know, nobody's doing what I want them to do. I tend to be a bit of a bossy boss, and so I want everyone to do what I want them to do. I look at this and I just say, you know what? You got to calm down a little bit. Remember, there's other things out there that are important. And how can I take this and be bold, but in a right way that inspires others to do the same? And so what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to break it down to 3 particular points and see if you see yourself in these points. So the first point is, the very first part, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And you know, I always think about this. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. So what the heck does that mean, right? Does that just mean we're a bunch of scaredy cats? It's the fear of success. And I can't see you, but I want you to kind of nod your head or maybe type something into Sandy to say, yeah, I get it, right? It's that we're more powerful than we really are ready to accept. And it's because we don't like to fail or we like to win. There are two schools of thought out there. There's a school of thought that, you know, high achievers are people that love to win. And that's how I've always looked at life. Like, I just love to win. I love the whole idea of nailing it, right? Like winning. Not because I want somebody else to fail, but because I like to win. You know, if you're going to work this hard, you kind of want to reach your goals, right? But the more powerful is the fear of losing, of, in other words, trying something and not really making it. That's actually the more powerful fear out there. So I was thinking about, you know, in my life, and I started thinking about the many times I've tried to lose weight. Now, you saw a cute picture of me in the beginning, and I'm adorable. Let's not get it wrong, but I'm super cute. But I'm a hippie girl. As my good friend Effie always says, I'm fluffy. And so I've always had a little bit of extra pounds on me. And so I've always tried to lose weight. And I remember many, many years ago, I went to Weight Watchers. And if you can imagine, if you've done Weight Watchers before, it's an amazing program. But I remember this time I went to Weight Watchers and I filled out all the documentation that you're supposed to fill out. And in it, it was like name, address, phone number, height, current weight, you know, email, blah, blah, blah. And then there was this one line on the card that freaked me out. And it was the line that said, "What is your goal weight?" And I got to tell you, that just floored me. I skipped past the line, went on to the other things like, you know, what are your current eating habits, yada, yada, yada. How many glasses of wine do you have a day? That was easy to answer. 4, who doesn't? On and on. But I went back to that goal weight line and I was like, okay, let's be honest. What is your goal weight? So I remember the first time I marked it down, I marked down 135. And then like I quickly scratched it out because I'm like, I'm not 135. I haven't been 135 since I was in 7th grade, for heaven's sakes. That's not going to happen. So I like erased it. Like, why are you even setting yourself up for failure? And then I put in 150. I'm like, okay, at 150, I look cute at 150. At 150, I'm probably like a size 8. Yeah, I remember. Oh, wait. And then I scratched it out and I'm like, Jen, you silly girl. Don't you remember back in the day, back in 1991, when you hit your goal weight of 150 and you lost it the very next day? Don't you remember you used to put that picture of yourself of that one day you were 150 pounds? Like, who are you kidding? You're never going to get down to 150. Now, mind you, at this time, I'm at 214 pounds, okay? So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to lose 64 pounds. That's too much weight to lose. It's not going to happen. And why am I setting myself up? I like to win. I like to win. And I don't want to lose. I don't want to disappoint myself. So I scratched out 150 and then I put 165. And I was like, okay, 165, I think that's good. You know, that's double digits off. 165, I can make that happen. I've been there multiple times. I can make it happen. I'm not going to lose because I've done it before. And I settled on 165. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm really letting myself off the hook. You know, I really could do that 150. I really could do that 135. But even to this day, in all transparency, my deepest fear is that I'm more powerful than that 165 and that I might get down to that 135 and I wouldn't keep the 135 and therefore I would lose. And we have to be honest with ourselves that that is a deep set fear. And so when you set goals for yourself, it's okay. You don't want to let yourself off the hook, but you want to be kind to yourself at the same time. And then maybe once I get to 165, I'll go to 150, and then from 150, I'll get down to 135. And quite frankly, who wants to be 135 and not have any kind of curves, right? So that's okay. But that's really what it is I was scared to really put down my goal, my true goal weight. And I don't want that for any of us. So I want you to ask yourself, think about a time you let yourself off the hook. Do you really want to be off the hook? When we're in the middle of growing a business, a lot of times what happens is we give ourselves these excuses. So if somebody doesn't book with us, we say, oh, it was because I got a better deal at Costco, which could be a true statement. I'm not saying that it's not, but it could be a true statement. Or we might make something up. Oh, you know what? I have 3 kids at home. There's no way I could do social media. I'm not going to be able to do it. But in reality, there are plenty of people who have 3 kids at home that are able to get the social media done. I want you to just think about, not to beat yourself up, but think about one thing where you've let yourself off the hook in your business and you've given an excuse the power for you not to be as powerful as you really are designed to be. Think about it. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And so that's one of the first mindset shifts I want you to be thinking about. What's that light that I really want, but I'm scared of? Go for it is what I say. All right, so the next section. And Sandy, if anybody is being transparent and saying, yes, Jen, this is a goal that I let myself off the hook with, please share with me. And please share, guys. Be open and honest with yourself. Yeah.
One of our agents said, yes, totally fear the success that I could have.
Yeah, it's so true. What's that agent's name? I love to use their name.
Diane.
Hey, Diane, it's so true. I was just doing one of our Rock Your Travel Biz regional conferences, and somebody said that, you know, I'm already so busy that if I do any more marketing, I'm afraid I'm not going to do a good job once I take care of them. Or I'm afraid if I overheard somebody saying something about how they want to go to Africa, but I don't know anything about Africa. I really want to try it, but I'm scared to go for it because what if I let them down? It's a very real fear. But the real fear is that you might actually do it. And that's the part that's so hard for everybody to really kind of tackle. So I say, think about one thing that you let yourself off the hook with, and did you regret it later on? Would it feel better if you just kind of went for it? Because it's okay if you lose. It's okay. The fear is the winning. And if you can overcome that, I think you've got a success in the making. Good. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. The next section is, your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. It's one of my most favorite parts of this quote. Your playing small does not serve the world. And I see people doing this every single day. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be an extrovert. It doesn't mean you have to be like super bold all the time. It just means being confident in yourself and understanding you shrinking so that others don't feel insecure is really something working against them. You know, I always talk about agents and agency owners. You know, you're not a glorified Google, for heaven's sakes. You know, you're not the builder of itineraries with perfect pricing. You're so much more than that. You know, what you get to do every single day makes a huge difference in people's lives. There is a commercial out, and now, of course, I just went blank on the name of the company, but it's an airline. Gosh darn it, I hate when I do that. I'm old. Anyways, it's an airline, and it's called The Arrivals. You can Google it and watch the commercial. And basically what it's showing is it's showing how people change when they come back from vacation. Not how they particularly change, they change, of course, but what about the people around them, right? How is your family affected by you going on vacation, or your coworkers, or the person in the grocery store that you might have a little more patience for because you just went to their country and now you have a better understanding? You know, what happens with the arrivals when they come back? Well, you guys get to do that every single day. You get to make this massive impact every single day. I always like for you to kind of think of it like this. You know, you didn't book that honeymoon. What you're really doing is crafting the first 10 days of a 50-year marriage. You're doing that. You're not booking a 7-night Caribbean cruise on Royal Caribbean for a family. What you're doing is you're giving a dad a chance to put his phone down, a mom a chance to really reconnect with her husband. Those brothers and sisters that are sliding down the slides and you know, doing all this you know, rock wall climbing and go-karting and all that, they're not just burning off kinetic energy. What they're doing is they're really kind of laying a foundation. They're developing a relationship with one another that'll be a solid foundation for the rest of their lives. You know, as your brothers and sisters, when you were growing up, as we start to get older, we have to start making some really serious decisions about our mom and dad sometimes. Well, that vacation that you planned helped them develop that foundation for that friendship that's going to help them long term. That's what you did. Yeah, you made a commission on it. Sure, you chose the right cabin and the right cruise, but you're doing so much more than that. And I think you have to look at it like that. And so if you feel that that's what you're doing in your heart of hearts, if you, at the end of the day, say, you know what, I nailed it. I'm always curious as to why you still play small. Why are you selling out of your pocketbook, as we always say in the industry, right? Why are you selling an inside cabin to that family? Get them a suite, for heaven's sakes. It's probably the only 7-day vacation they're really going to remember. Make it so memorable, make it so impactful that they talk about it for years and years and years and years, and then they pass that on. You know, don't play small. There was I have a really great agent. She's one of our top agents, and every so often I'll get leads from my friends that say, hey Jen, can you book me travel somewhere? And I'm like, girlfriend, I don't book anything but my Delta flights. I got people that do all the other stuff, but I can hook you up with one of our great travel agencies owners. And so this one particular one, I sent her a text. I sent her a lead right away. It was a good friend of mine. I said, hey, she wants to go to Spain. I know you're a Spain expert. And she was like, oh, Jen, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. When do you think I should follow up with her? And I thought to myself, why are you asking me that? I just texted it to you. I just said they just sent me a message. Like, follow up now. What are you waiting on? And she said, oh, well, I didn't know if there was a better time. And she started like hemming and hawing a little bit. If there's a better time, does she want me to email? Does she want me to call? Now, this is a super successful agent. This is someone who's been doing it for a long time. And I said to her, stop playing small. Your playing small is not going to serve my friend. She's inspired to go to Spain. She's inspired enough to email me. She's inspired enough for me to say, can I connect you with Corrine? And guess what, Corrine? You need to be inspired enough to follow up right now. Do it right now. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. My big message to y'all is they're waiting on you. They're counting on you. All these families, all these individuals, the divorcees, the widows, the widowers, the newly engaged, the gal pals that are getting together to support their friend, the cancer survivors, whoever it is, for whatever reason they're doing it. They're counting on you to not shrink. They're counting on you to serve them. And that's the power that you have, which I think is just like ridiculously exciting and so very important. I truly believe what you guys do is one of the most important things that can be done in this world, is helping people really enjoy their lives and experience the world in a way only you can do it. So ask yourself, I want you to right now think about a time you didn't follow through fully. And trust me, I almost didn't get this job here at TPI because I didn't follow through fully. I kind of like blew it off. They're not going to hire me. And we joke about it all the time. But I did finally follow through. I apologize for not following through, and I did get the job, thank goodness. But ask yourself, how often do you do that? How often do you not follow through? Switch that mindset. They're waiting on you, I promise. And then my favorite part. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Have you ever thought about that? About the fact that when you are inspired by somebody else, isn't it exciting to know that you could do the same, right? So as we're going through this and we're kind of overcoming our fear of rejection or our fear of success, and we're standing bold in ourselves and we're following up and we're doing all the things to shift our mindset to say, I get what I do. I know this is about me helping them. And we kind of stand bold in our presence. How cool is that to know that you're unconsciously giving other people permission to do the same? I did this presentation at Cruise World, and I remember when I told everybody what my weight was, there were, gasps of shock. I can't believe she's like sharing her weight. You remember that, Sandy? You were there. And I was like, here's the thing. It's okay to say what you weigh. Who cares, right? They're seeing you. I weigh more than I look, thank goodness. But, I'm just like, who cares? And I had so many people come up to me and say, you know what, you're right. We shouldn't be ashamed to just be bold out there, just be exactly who we are. And when we do that, we allow other people the chance to do the same. And so when you're excited about what you do for a living, right, your job, your business, when you let your own light shine and say, I don't care if I have to call them 50 times, I know this is the absolute perfect vacation for this family. By golly, they're gonna have to listen to me. When you do that, you give other people around you a chance to say, it's okay, I can do that as well. You've inspired them. I think that's pretty incredible. So ask yourself, Think about a time when you admired someone's actions. Was there somebody out there that you saw them do that and you're like, you know what? Seems kind of ballsy, but I like it. I admire what they've done. Write that person's name down. You know, ask yourself, what was it that they did? And what did you do with that information? So those are the mindsets that I think are easy to adjust if you just kind of keep these things in front of you. And I will email this to anybody who wants me to email this poem to you. I will email it to you. You can just send me an email. I'll give you those details at the back end. But your mindset really does matter. And I think that's the takeaway here is all the maneuvers in the world won't do anything if you're too scared to do the follow-up, or if you're questioning whether or not you're quoting them the right price because you're not sure if they can afford it. We say this all the time in the industry, guys. You know, it's the right product at the right time for the right family, right? You know this intuitively, but you let yourself get in your own way. You know intuitively that you do have enough time to make those extra social media posts or those extra phone calls or put together that email marketing or whatever that extra thing is. You know intuitively you can do it. But to Diane, who I believe was the agent that was transparent, you're right, that fear of success kind of stands in your way. It's really the fear of your power, right? That fear, oh my goodness, I could actually make it happen. And what would my life look like if that happened? I always say, once you know what you really want, and they're clear in how you play a role in what you really want, because it's really what you think, how you believe you play a role in other people's lives. So once you're clear in how you play a role and are fully committed to making it happen, the rest is just logistics, guys. The rest is just figuring out what products you want to focus on. The rest is just figuring out what conferences you want to go to. The rest is really just figuring out the logistics behind everything. But you have to know what you really want. And we talk about this in the industry, which is really about being really focused on a niche or starting out with a specialty or a type of client that you want to work with, and be really clear in your mindset of what role you play in this. You make a huge impact in people's lives, a big impact. And then if you're fully committed, you won't let yourself off the hook. And the rest is really just figuring out the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s behind it.
Jen?
Yes.
Christy posted a quote that I have loved for a long time. If you think
Yeah.
you can or you think you can't, you're right.
It's so true, Christy. I love that quote. I love that quote. What's that? Ford, I think, said that quote.
Somebody's going to Google it and post the answer.
Oh, I love it. That's good. See, teamwork makes the dream work, people. I love it. It's so, so true. It's just a simple mindset. You know, and here's the thing. This is not rocket science. I'm not like introducing something so spectacularly new in your life. Maybe the poem is new to you, but we've always known that our mindset plays a role. I think it's time that, you know, you slow down for a second and you say, you know what, it does matter. It does make a difference. What I really, really want you guys, I'm going to go back here for a second, is, hang on, this whole you're playing, where is it? Sorry, guys. You're playing small does not serve the world. That's a big part of this. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You play no positive role in somebody's life if you hold back on their behalf. You don't help them at all. As a matter of fact, you hurt them because because of what? You're afraid they're going to say no. I mean, last I've checked, there's been a lot of really terrible things that happen in the world, but I've yet to see on the 11 o'clock news a report that says, you know, Jane strangled Roger because, you know, Roger kept calling to see if Jane wanted to go on vacation. Like, I haven't seen it yet. So you're not going to die over it. The best that you can hope for is that you do something amazingly impactful for that person's life. And as you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. I could talk about this all day, but I know you guys don't have all day. What I want to challenge you with, and feel free to ask me anything. Like, you can ask me anything. I'm a pretty smart chick over here. And be transparent. But I'm going to challenge you. Like, right now, set a goal that scares you. Like, write a goal right now that scares you. Just, I'm not going to make you share it. Just write it down. Unless you're driving, don't write it when you're driving. Just say it out loud, even if it's just your dog in the car with you. Set a goal that scares you. when you do get a chance, follow up with someone right now. I challenge our agents to this all the time. I make them do it like right now. And then I make them send me a picture of the text message. I cannot tell you the number of sales that have happened when I've said, just follow up with somebody right now. So if you can, text somebody right now, Facebook message somebody right now, somebody you've done a quote with, send them a short little note. Hey, was just thinking about you. It's not a lie because you were just thinking about them. Just thinking about you. I think this Italy trip or whatever the trip is that they were talking about is perfect for you. When can we get together? I want you to do it right now. You've set a goal that scares you. Follow up with somebody right now, and then be bold enough to communicate your true self the very next time you've got an opportunity to do so. You will see that your life will change for the better, that the sky won't fall on you, Chicken Little, and that you never know, somebody might say, because of what you said or what you did, you motivated me to do the same. And isn't that what we're really all about? In our industry, for sure, but in life. So, Sandy, tell me if anyone's typing anything in there. Is anyone setting a goal that scares you and is willing to say it on the chat?
Well, not yet, but thanks to Antoinette for confirming that quote was by Henry Ford. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Henry
Yay!
Ford.
4. I love it. I love it. Set a goal that scares you. Follow up with somebody right now and communicate your true self. That's my message to you guys today. It's not a long one. It's an easy one. So with that being said, if you like, Sandy, if we're not getting any comments, which is perfectly fine, they might be texting with follow-up as we speak. We could go to the question if you want.
Hey, we just had someone post that his goal is making $100,000 his first year in business.
All right. So do you want to make $100,000 in commission, or you want to make $100,000 in sales? I'd love to hear the answer to that.
We'll see if he responds. And someone, Diane, said, I just sent a text to a potential client for a follow-up. So you're going to have a success story on your hands pretty soon.
Diane, I'm telling you, I challenge our agents to do this a lot these days. We have regional events called Rock Your Travel Biz for our agents. And actually, one of you guys is going to win a free admission, whether you're with TPI or not. We don't care. We really love sharing our information. And so one of you is going to win a free entry to that. But I make them do it right then and there. I'm like, no, get out your phone. They think they're going to do it later. I'm like, do it right now. And I cannot tell you the number of people who are like, oh my God, they just called me back. And now I'm in the conference. I'm like, well, you can step outside and go close that deal. I make them post things on Facebook right now. Just do it right now. Just, there's no better time than right now. And I cannot express to you the success we get over that.
So our friend Matthew, who said he wants to make $100,000 in his first year in business, said he's looking at $100,000 in sales. I think he should be looking at $100,000 in profit.
In profit. But hey, listen, $100,000 in sales is nothing to shake a stick at, Patrick. So, you know, just be focused on the logistics. If you know that's what you really want, right? So let's go back for a second. If you know you really want that and you're clear on how you play a role and are fully committed, the rest is just figuring out the logistics. Who are you going to sell? How are you going to market to people? How are you going to make sure you follow up? Are you adding that travel insurance? All that other stuff. $100,000 in sales in the first year is very doable. And when I give you my email, I want to hear next year about how you made it.
We have an agent who wants to know, where are you headquartered?
Our offices are in Orlando, Florida. But we have agents all over the country. We come out, and so we're going on our regional events. Atlanta, we just did this past weekend, and we're going to New Jersey and Chicago and Houston, and we're going to be in Vegas. So
cool.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
One of our agents says, my goal is to manifest my vision for a niche and stick to it.
There you, oh, and the sticking to it is the tough part, no doubt about it. So if you know what it is, here's how you manifest that. Start thinking about different niches. Right? And the one that gives you goosebumps, or the one that actually gives you a true, honest to God, you feel a warmth in your heart, is the way you're supposed to go. That's the big guy upstairs, or girl, or whoever you believe in or not believe in. When you get that warmth or a goosebump when you say it or when you visualize it, that's the right way to go. Follow that path.
One of our agents wants to know if TPI has a live lead program.
We do not. We do not. We believe building your business. We believe building your business on your own through marketing is the best way for you to build something long term.
Okay, thank you. Agents, if anyone has any other questions or comments, this is a good time to post it. We have a comment that our agent Heather is in her 3rd year and bookings are inconsistent. Her goal is to book 4 trips a month every month.
There you go. I love that. That's very specific. They call that a SMART goal, right? It's specific, it's measurable, it's actionable. SMART. Oh, what's a reasonable? And I forgot what the T is. Timely. SMART goal. So that's good. So you just have to ask yourself, how many different people do you need to talk to get 4 bookings a month? Here's a secret, and I've said this on previous webinars before, and I would encourage you to go look at all the different webinars that's on Travel Professional News. There will be a topic for you somewhere along the way that will help you. But if 4 bookings a month is what you're looking for, I always tell my agents, you really only need 12 people in your life that totally get what you do and aren't afraid to tell other people about it. And I'm not talking 12 people who are going to send out an email blast about you. I'm talking 12 people who understand what you do and are in a position because they meet a lot of people or because they're chatty Cathys or whatever that is, that anytime somebody mentions the word travel, they use your name. That's all you really need. I've talked to agents for years and said, how did you build it? And it's referral, referral, referral. Every so often they'll get a lead that comes from a website or something, but it's mostly referrals. And with those referrals, I say, if you could trace back where that referral came from, and you did that for all the bookings that you've had this past year, chances are it would trace back to the same 10, 11, or 12 people. Because Roger, who called you today, was a referral from Jane, and you knew Jane because she was the hairdresser to your friend Rachel, and the way you knew Rachel was because your son and her son went to school together, and then you met her there, and prior to that, it was because you tripped over somebody in the Target over getting some wine, and you both started talking and mentioned that your kids go to the same school together, and then you meet Rachel at the mom day, and it goes on and on. But trace those people back. It's probably to the same 10, 11, or 12 people.
That's fascinating. I love that.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Just pick the last 10 people you did business with, and I guarantee you'll see that they all start going back to or an event. Oh yeah, I met this person at that event. I met 4 people at that event. And from there, it splinters.
Jen, we have a couple of questions about TPI itself. One of our agents wants to know the nature of TPI. Is it a host, a consultation company? What is TPI?
Oh, great question. We are what everyone calls a host agency. So we work with you, independent travel advisor and agency owners across the country. We provide you back office support, sales support, access to the top tier commissions with all the major cruise lines and land companies and airlines and so on and so forth. So it's the support that we offer that our agents really rave over. So we have about 3,800 of our agents across the country. And so even though we're based in Orlando, we give support to everybody across the way.
And one of our agents wants to know if you can name a couple of things that makes TPI different from other host agencies.
That's such a great question. We all do basically the same thing. I would say the thing that sets all of us apart individually, and we never look at ourselves as competitors. We're all very friendly in this industry. We're all obsessed with you guys. I would say look at the pricing difference for the 70, 80, or 90% commission. I mean, that's an easy one to kind of figure out. And then it's really the personality. The people who are part of TPI, our agents tell us over and over again, they feel like they're part of a family. They don't feel like they're calling into corporate headquarters. As a matter of fact, we don't even have an automated phone system. So when you call in, a human being answers the phone so we can route you properly. We are very kind of fresh and relevant. We're on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, and we attract a lot of really hard charging, fun loving, want to share their knowledge type agents. And so we're not the largest, and we're certainly not the smallest, We're all passionate for you. I think it's really the way it feels. If anyone's going to be, I know this is a recorded webinar, so it's a kind of a timely thing, but anytime you go to Cruise World or Travel Agent Forum in Vegas, you'll see us there. Or you're welcome to pick up the phone and give us a call, and we'll hook you up with a couple of our agents. There's a lot of public Facebook pages out there that you can say, hey, I'm thinking about TPI. What do you think? And people will tell you.
Fantastic. And with thanks to Greg, we found out that the arrivals ad you were talking about is for SAS Airlines.
Thank you, Greg. I was having a mind freeze there. It's a beautiful, beautiful commercial. I've watched it like 10 times. I couldn't believe I couldn't remember SAS. It's a great commercial.
It is. And we'll take one last question. If you have questions or comments that you think of after this webinar is over. Jen, do you have a slide with contact information you can put up for?
There I am. I'm so cute. You guys?
Well, I'm not seeing it. I'm still seeing the challenge slide.
No, I've moved
there
it.
You are. Okay, now we see it. And you're right. You are adorable.
I'm not afraid. It's okay, guys. You can look in the mirror and say, dang, I'm rocking it.
So here's Jen's information. You can email her with any questions or comments, and I'm sure she'll be happy to help you and point you in the right direction.
Absolutely. If you want a copy of that quote, I'll email it to you, or you can Google it, Marianne Williamson, Our Deepest Fear, and it's everywhere on Google.
And also, I want to let our agents know that Jen will be able to see all the questions and comments after this webinar, so she can follow up if you request a quote or any information on there. So Jen, how about if we get to the 2 prize giveaways? And
sure.
Here's how it's going to work. Jen is going to ask 2 questions, one at a time, about something she discussed during this webinar, and type in your answer in the question panel, and I will take the 5th correct answer that I see come across my screen. We'll announce the correct answer, we'll announce the winner, and Jen will get in touch with you about redeeming your prize. So, Jen, you want to describe what the first prize is?
Sure. The first prize is a free entry into any of our Rock Your Travel Biz events. And again, we have one in Vegas, Chicago. If you go to rockyourtravelbiz.com, you'll see all the details there. And so the question is, complete this sentence. It's not about the consumer buying what you're selling. It's about what? Complete this sentence. It's not about the consumer buying what you're selling. It's about what? Okay,
there are answers coming in. Let's see who is the 5th correct answer.
I love it when they're all right. That's
okay. We have a winner, and it's a name you've heard before. The correct answer is, it's not about what the consumer is buying what you're selling, it's about you buying what you're selling. And the 5th correct answer was entered by Christy Emo. So
congratulations. Hey, girl. Oh, I love me some Christy Emo. Yay, girl.
So congratulations to Christy. You have won free entry into a Rock Your Travel Biz meeting, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So let me just clear my screen here. And Jen, if you want to talk about what the second prize is, go ahead.
Sure. The second prize is a 1-hour consultation with me over the phone or in person. Yeah.
This prize is priceless, you guys, as you know from hearing Jen either on this or many other webinars or live presentations. This is the money shot. So, Jen, go ahead and ask your question.
Complete this sentence. Your playing small does not what? Your playing small does not.
Okay, we have answers coming in.
Hey!
Well, people were really paying attention.
They're paying attention. They're smart.
Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds.
Your playing small does not.
Okay, we have a winner. The answer was your playing small does not serve the world. And our winner is Holly Valito. Valido. So congratulations to Holly. You have won a 1-hour consultation with Jenn, and I know it's going to be life-changing, literally. So congratulations to that. I want to thank you so much. Our host for this webinar has been excuse me, Travel Planners International, TPI, and our wonderful guest speaker has been Jenn Lee, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Jenn, as always, this was fantastic, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure, guys. Go out there and make big things happen.
And I want to thank our agents for taking time out of your busy day to join us today. I know you got a lot out of this, so thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.